Hello and welcome to the series of How to Power BI. In this video, we will be understanding about some more features of scatter plot. We will also understand conditional formatting. We will see how to hide the table in report view and what is the purpose of it. We will also look after some grouping which will be helpful in the scatter plot. Then we'll understand bar chart, column chart and ribbon chart. And if time permits, we will also understand about the small multiples. So let's get started. For this, we will be again using our old file of Power BI, which we used in the last session. So in the last session, we understood about maps. In that section, we look after some different types of visuals, different types of visual maps which are available in Power BI, field map, shape map, ArcGIS map, and we also understood about the scatter plot. So this was the revision of the last lecture. Now let's understand little bit more about the scatter plot and how we can use it. So what I will do, I will just resize this scatter plot. I will make it a half screen. Okay, that's good. I will just copy, Control C and Control V it and paste it. So we have got another scatter plot. Now for this chart, let me just remove this play axis. Okay. Now I can see that in this chart, I need to understand, let's say if I want to uh, understand more fields, I want to get more information from this scatter plot. So for example, if I want that I should also see the rank in this, I'll drop it. But what happens is that the bubbles get overlapped and I'm not able to get the proper information unless and until I over it. So this does not looks good. So in this scenario, what we can do, we can use the conditional formatting in the scatter plot on the basis of ranks. So let me just remove this and let's understand how we can use the conditional formatting. So you can click on the particular visual, go to the format your visual option, scroll down. Now I want to conditional format these bubbles. So I will go to this markers option in the visual, and if you scroll down here, you can see you can change the shape of the markers also. If I want square, I can take it. If I want a diamond shape, I can do that. So for now, I will just keeping it as a filled circle. Now in the color option, you can see there is the uh, one by default option which is showing blue color, and at the right side of it there is a fx. If you hover, you can see that conditional formatting pane is opening. So what I want is I want to conditional format this marker. Now if you go to the others option, there will also be a conditional formatting like in the x-axis, or you can go for the y-axis, and there also you can conditional format your axis. So for now we are going for the markers. So let's just do the conditional formatting. You click over it and this pane will open. In this pane, there are three things you can do. You can either use a gradient option, which will be format your visual in the gradient format. You can use the rules option and you can also use the field value. For this case, we are going to use gradient as I want to see a gradient like pattern in my scatter plot. So now what I want is that I want to gradient as per the rank of the country. So I will take a rank in the field, and by default it is summarization. You can change average, count and all that, but we will be keeping it as a sum. Now how should we format empty values? So for now I will be taking it as a don't format the empty value. Now what I want is that if a rank is the lower, then format it as a red color, and if the rank is highest, then format it as a green color. So by clicking here, I can choose the option of a red. Let's just see, if you go to the more color, let's take this red. And for the higher value, what I want is that I want a green color. So go to the more option, go to the green, and let's say just this kind of green. Okay. Now what I also want the middle color. So here you get the option to add the middle color, and I will be choosing the middle color as grayish, so that this pattern can appear, which looks nice, I think. If you click on OK, you can see that your conditional formatting has been applied, and the now I'm able to see that okay, the ranking of the visuals, how it is. So instead of rank, you can use a different function also. Let's say if I want to change it to the instead of rank, I want to use it opportunity. So I will be clicking here opportunity. If you click OK, now see. Now I think this makes more sense that sum of score is more as the opportunities are also more, and opportunities are less, the sum of score is less, and basic human needs are also less. So I think this was pretty much about the conditional formatting. Although there are two other options which we will be understanding in our further lectures, how we can use the conditional formatting in the table visuals like that. So now let's just, I will again copy paste this graph, Control C and Control V, and now I want to see the different thing. So let's just click over here. Let's, if I now, there is a legend option. So let's say if I want to use the legends, uh, if I drop legends from the continent table continent and drop into this legend part, you can see what happens. That conditional formatting has been removed and the legend of a continent is applied. So this gives us that conditional formatting is overridden by the legend option. So please remember this, that legend will always override the conditional formatting. But as soon as you remove the legend, if you have already applied the conditional formatting, it will retain that. So it has like a memory kind of a thing. If you remove the conditional format, if you remove the legends part, the conditional formatting will automatically appear. So this is how you can do that. Now, I want to remove, I don't want to understand this by conditional formatting as I already have this graph. So what I will do, I will go to this option and I will just remove the conditional formatting from markers. Just click on this eraser and it will be gone. Now, what we are seeing here is that if you go to the visual option, we are seeing by the value. So let's say if I don't have any textual field, I don't want to see it. Now, as soon as I remove the country part, you can see my graph is changed to single dot. Now, what it is showing, if you hover, it is showing sum of human needs and sum of score. So it is aggregating at the total level because it doesn't have any text field. Like if I put a country, then it will be bifurcating my data on the basis of country. So I will remove that. Now, what if I want to see all these scatters without using any textual field? So what we can do, go to the x-axis, go to this drop down. If you open, there are different options, sum, average, max, count. But what we want is the first option, which says that don't summarize the data. So if I click over that, you can see that basic human needs is not anymore aggregating and it is showing all the dots. And I also want that score should also not get aggregate. So don't summarize it again. Okay. So this is the option which you can use to show the data with, like if you want to show every pointer, you don't need to summarize. So this is the option you can use. Okay. Now let's understand one more thing, which is the in a cluster chart how we can in a scatter plot how we can use the clusters. So I will again control C and control V this graph and I will keep it here. So now what I want it to get sum again. Let's just do it, and I will keep a country from the social progress report here. So okay, now what I want is that there is this pattern, but I'm not able to understand that how this cluster is giving me the insight. I'm not able to understand, like I know that there this is the part, but I want some bifurcation. I want I want to understand little bit easily. So in this scenario, what we can do, we can use the clustering method. This is the clustering is nothing but a statistical method. It is also called as the Keynes method. Caines, Keynes method. It is used to identify cluster in your scatter plot. There is a scatter, but I want to understand this cluster. So in that scenario, we can use this Keynes method. Now, what I will do, I will go to this tree dot of the visual option. If you click over, here you can see that the fourth option is showing automatically find the cluster. If you click on that, you can see that this pane will open, which is cluster. Now you can name this that uh, okay, let's keep it as it is. Cluster for country description and number of clusters. How many I want? I want the three clusters. So what I will do, I will click OK. Now my scatter will be formatted into the three clusters. Now you can see there are cluster 1, cluster 2 and cluster 3. So now I'm able to understand that okay, the cluster 3 is on the more side and the cluster 1 is on the lesser side. So this gives me a little bit a clear knowledge of my data. So this is how you can use the cluster. And as soon as I created that clustering, you can see that there is this field which has been created. So this is the physical field which has been created. And this is like a bin. So the bins of three segments have been created. If you click on these three dots and go to the more option, you can see that you can either create a new group or you can edit this cluster. So click on the edit cluster and you will get the more option. Here you can change the number of clusters and also you can change the name of the clusters. So let's say let's just change. If you want to click on this name, not on this 51 items, click on this name in order to change the name. So if I want to change, let's call it A. I will make it call it as a B, and third I will call it a C. So maybe in this scenario, what will happen that maybe color of the cluster may change. So for in the current scenario, it is blue, light blue and orange. Let's click OK after changing name. Okay, so after changing names, the cluster's colors has also been changed. It will happen or may not happen. You just need to understand that this is how you can use the cluster in order to get the clear insight from your data. Okay, now this was about the cluster. You can edit this group. And you can change the number of clusters also, and automatically this field will go to the ledger. Okay, now in this chart, what we understood is that if I don't want to summarize the data and I want to show the every pointer, so I can use that. As soon as I drop the country in these values, you'll see what happens. So this shows that it is throwing the error. So remove values to display X and Y axis pairs. Alternatively, you can keep values and set summarization for X and Y axis. So if you want to use a textual field, you need to summarize your data. Otherwise, it won't show. So it will throw an error. So in such a scenario, either you use a data which is textual, or you don't use it and don't summarize your other fields. So this is how you can use the cluster. Now, if I want to if I want to see on the about the C cluster, if I click on here, my all the charts will be formatted according to C cluster. That what is the sum of score, human needs, and all those things. So this is how you can use it. It is basically the visual interaction what we see in our previous videos. So this was all about the clustering chart. Now we will understand uh, more about the other visuals and also about some data, also about some tables. Okay, let's take a new page now. For this, what we can do is that uh, okay, one more thing what we can see in this scatter plot is that let's just see if this is the cluster and I want to specifically focus on this area. So what we can do, click on this visual, go to the build visual option. If you scroll down here you will see the zoom slider option. So turn it on. So it will give you a zoom slider on your X and Y axis. So let's just see if I want to focus on this area. So what I will do, I will be scrolling this and I will be focusing on this area only. And on the this axis, I will be, so I'll be able to see more clearly that what is happening here. So this is how now I can also move this if I want to see, and move this down further what I want to see. So this is how you can use a zoom slider in order to see a specific part of your cluster. Okay. You can also explore the different option which are available here. Let's just, if you want, you can also turn on the data category labels also. But in this chart, it will be become messy. So let's not do that. Okay. Now let's understand about the other things. Now, from now onwards, we will be using our sample data in creating visuals and understanding the concepts of Power BI. So, in this scenario, let's say in real time, there are multiple tables you have loaded, but you want you are specifically working again and again on a particular table, and you don't want to see this table because it is coming in a way and it is making you confused. So in that case, what we can do, we can hide the unwanted table and we can keep a table only which we will be using. So what you can do is click on this three dot. If I want to hide the social progress report, what I will be doing, that click on this option, and you can see there is an option called hide. So if I click on the hide, my report will be gone. And also I want to hide this, so hide. So now in the report view, I can only see the sample data, but we have just hidden that table. It is not gone. If you want to see that, go to the data pane and you will be able to see that these two tables are hidden. Okay. So this was the use. It will be used whenever you want to avoid the confusion that what table to use or which field is coming from which table. So in that scenario, you can do this. Okay. Now let's understand about the bar charts, how it can be used and how it shows the data. So I will just call it bar bar chart. So let's take first stacked bar chart. I will just keep it off of the screen. And now for this, we will be using let's just say, okay, FYI for you is that whenever you take any chart, the first field which appears will be the textual field. So you can see in this scatter plot also here, whenever the first field over it is was the country. If you take a bar chart also, the first axis or first thing will always be your textual field. Just keep in mind while creating those charts, so it will be easier to create. So you will not get confused that okay, I have put in the profit or sale in the y-axis. So let's just keep in mind that first value will always be a dimension value or textual value. So what we can do is that we can take a, okay, let's just take a product in the y-axis. So on y-axis, I have got the product and sum of sales. Where is the sales? Okay, let's just take a sales on a x-axis. Now you can see that it has given me the sales by product. Now what I want is I also want to understand how the discount was. So I will be taking discount in the x-axis. Okay. Okay, now, okay, instead of sale, let me just take a profit. What happens? Let's just see. I will drag it here. Okay, now it is not showing the correct, like I'm not getting that. Okay, sum of discount is this part and sum of profit is this. So what I will do, I will just go here and turn on the labels. So it will be easier to understand. So I will turn on the labels. I'll also turn on the total labels, which is this. We can format them if I want. I can make them bold. Okay, if I increase the size, okay, now they are clear. Okay, so what this is giving the information that your total profit was 7.40 million. Out of that, this profit, exact profit was 4.8 million, and the remaining part is a discount. So if you are not given the 2.6 million discount, you would have gotten the sales of 7.4 million. So this is how the information you can understand from your cluster bar chart. So what is this doing is that it is stacking information one over the other. Like there is a profit and then there is a discount, and you can add more fields if you want. So this tax info one above other.